Okay, good afternoon, Fleet Commanders. Welcome to the channel. Tiberius here with another quick stream for you. Just give me a second here while we get things set up and going. Thank you for tuning in on this lovely Sunday. We'll do our traditional Sunday stuff, our swarms, and our discovery events, and we'll see what's else is going on. Talk about a few other things, obviously, as we finish up the Ferengi Arc Battle Pass today. Yes, we did it. We survived. We survived the Ferengi. While we're waiting for our events to reset here in the next minute and a half, of course, we'll remind you to like and follow on Twitch and YouTube. And I'll also preemptively apologize in advance if you hear any loud barking. We did get a puppy last week, and he's still working on the housebreaking. Kata and Reset are the systems. Okay. Get our discovery rolling. Reset. That's the one that's up here. Alright. So let's see what we got going on here. Domination was yesterday's event that's about to wrap up. So was the Armada one. That was a 2-day event that required doing a lot of damage. Quark's Test. This is the second auction to unlock some Quark shards. Based on the solo milestone yesterday, I got the final shards I needed to unlock Quark. We'll take a look at him a little later on. But there is still a day left on the auction to pick up some extra shards, which is actually pretty significant because they also did just announce Quark sourcing. Quark sourcing will be added to Latinum Rush on Mondays now. He will become a permanent addition, or a at least for the time being. 2 Quark shards will be available every Monday in the Latinum Rush event. So let's let those get reset. Let's see where our Franklin is. It was on its way out here. We got to go to set. May get to a point where I end up scrapping my North Star someday. So it was only at level 40. Like I maxed it to tier 9, but I never actually did the last 5 levels. So yeah, we're just kind of parking that in augment space, letting it get those last few levels. And today is the final day of the battle pass, so if you haven't finished that up yet, I finished mine a few days ago, doing everything daily. You finish it up, usually about 4 days to spare. And then as we finish up the heroic overflow, which is what we're working on today to get the final milestone here on the last day of the battle pass, get about 10,000 Latinums, 800 recruit tokens, and an uncommon avatar. Then we have our traditional Sunday events, our destroy stuff with the discovery, and our threat from beyond, killing swarms, getting gas, and con shards, which we would still like to see an upgrade to, because I think many of us have Mara by now. Perhaps at least making it to maybe making it a higher, at least tiered. So like if you're above level 35, Mara maybe changes to somebody else, somebody a little more useful, somebody a little newer, because usually by then, most players have kind of been doing this long enough that they have enough Mara shards for him. Does still just transform into transporter patterns. So we'll renew our daily events here, our Romulan reputation, our Federation reputation, and check in on our rep gain. Today's events, station limited time. The only way to win this leaderboard here is basically to have defense platforms to upgrade, which I currently am not in a position to do, so not worth competing there. And then we've got a ship event, spend 27,000 ship XP, but that's the 12-hour event. me double check the old event calendar. Sometimes when they do the 12-hour event for the ships, sometimes the afternoon event is also a ship XP one. We did just have one this morning though, so it would be weird for them to double up back to back like that, but you know, it is Scopely. Let me just pull up my handy event calendar. Let's see what we got. Alright, so it was station ranked, station solo, station ranked. It will be another ship solo event. We had officer XP, we had a recruit. So we got station ranked and ship solo, and then the 6 o'clock event will also be a ship solo event. So today is the day that they do double up. So we will be smart about this. We will not spend any ship XP now. We'll wait until 6 hours from now. This event will go away. It'll become another ship event. And then I'll spend the same ship XP and get credit for completing them both. Alright, so by now our ships should be in position. Hey, let's go kill some 29s real quick. While we're doing that, we'll kill a couple of 43s, because this one has a much longer travel time. And we'll kind of leapfrog back and forth between these two for a minute or two here, finish them up, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. Of course, I always appreciate you guys watching the live streams on Twitch. Nice to engage. Throw out any questions and comments that you have, of course, things you want to talk about, complain about. You know, we finished up this arc. The Ferengi Arc is, event 1 is over. Do not know what they have in store for us yet with next month. We're all going to assume it's Ferengi Part 2. It's probably a 3-month arc for March and April. And then we'll probably roll into something a little more popular like Deep Space Nine for May, June, July, and possibly August. Make it a 4-month arc. There's a lot of content with Deep Space Nine with adding them, so I could see them stretching it out over a longer period, making that like a 4-month arc. And we'll get this one finished up real quick. No need to waste resources transporting your discovery. It's pretty easy, fairly easy if you're above level, 25, 26 to get your kills in one trip. Get everything all finished up, get your refinery tokens, get your mycelium, and head on back home. And now that we have that, we can do our refines. So get 4 full refines. Your 480 tokens that you get 481 from the event, so that one extra gets to linger around, and then twice a year you'll have enough of those 1-point extras to get an extra 1 chest. My discovery store looks a little different from yours. Once your discovery is maxed at tier 9 and you reach ops level 40, this additional speed up gets added to your refinery here. So every week when you do your 6 chest pulls, you get 24 1-day speed ups. You do that 4 times a week, you get 96 1-day speed ups per week. Huge benefit. I have another video on my channel I did a few months back, sort of explaining that in more detail. Just the perks of it, which are pretty substantial. So if you should want to max out your discovery to begin with, because it's just obviously it's a good utility ship to have, being able to transport around and trying to make that cost as efficient as possible. Everybody stopped attacking me here. Looks like we can't get a bounty hunter to spawn. just keep moving back and forth between systems, see if it triggers it. But the big perk, obviously, is the tier 9 bonus. Those 96 days of speed ups per week. It's pretty significant as you move through the game. A lot of stuff takes a lot more time than that to accelerate. So, oh, we're gonna win! Yay, we beat you! Haha, too slow. And we'll go get that guy. So I need 7 of these for my daily. Killing level 43s. There's Quark mining Isogen. We'll talk about Quark in a little bit here. There's number 6. Just using Pike Moreau Talon on the Franklin A to complete this part. And there is my 7th kill, completing that daily. And then from here, it's 35s, 35s, 35s. 10-minute flight time. Okay. So, that was the first daily. There are 5 of them. What do we got? The second one here is killed stuff level 35 plus. And then the last 3 are all, 2 of them are 32 plus, level 32 plus. This one's level 15 plus. So as you progress, they add more of these. If you're a lower level player, you might only have this one at first, or you might just have like 2 of them. Maybe you've got the 50 and like a 15 or a 20 kill one. That they just, they grow with you as you grow. Use my handy Yoda Yeti thermos that I got for a wonderful birthday present. I'll also have to finish up my Romulan and by extension Federation, since I do them simultaneously. Because my Romulan rep is now over 700 million, we're making progress. We're getting there. My daily has increased. It is now to kill ships level 48 or higher, and because of warp range, the only ones that I really can kill on a consistent basis are the 49 traders in the capital systems. So since I'm killing Klingons, that would be Kronos. And it's hard to get them to spawn on a regular basis, and there's usually other people there competing for them. So 48s, if you're going all the way out into deep space here, you're looking at 48 spawning in these systems, which require warp 160. My Kelvin is currently warp 150, so it means I'd have to put an officer on board to increase warp range, which is not what I want to do, because then I'm obviously going to take a lot more hull damage. I'd have to put that on my Kelvin as well, which is already really expensive to repair. The other option would be is I can just send the Kelvin here to this system. Looks like chocolate milk, basically. And there are a few 48s that spawn there, but they're not very consistent. So I'd be, killing a few and then kind of camping and waiting for them to respawn, or killing smaller stuff, doing more hull damage to myself in the process, waiting for the 48s to respawn. I can move and even this system here is not part of the Warp 120 base hub. So if I were to move my base to a system like Luckhash or one of these other ones, it's only these 5, Analu as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 systems that you can move freely between once you put your base in the system. This system, being at warp 135, is not subject to that. So if I can't move my base here, and if I move here, I still need warp 135 to get there. So That would either be a very high level jellyfish, which is not really a good investment in your resources, or you're using one of your 42 faction ships, which have incredibly high repair costs. So for the time being, what I'm doing is killing 49s every day in Kronos. Kronos. Down here. Kronos, killing these level 49. The regular traders, not the heavy ones. You gotta find these guys, which of course there'd be a bunch of them up right now. So the regular traders are pretty easy to kill with Pike Moreau Chen. Max Chen really takes the sting out of their damage, and I can usually kill 11 or 12 of these with my auger. Very low repair cost on that, only like 400,000, 500,000, as compared to my Kelvin, which is like 35 million combined between tritanium and dilithium. It's like 32, 33 million tritanium, and then like 2 or 3 million dilithium to repair it, as opposed to my auger, which is tier 7, which is like 500,000 tritanium and like 200,000 dilithium. So much smaller fraction of the cost. You just have to be a little more competitive about what you get. And then stay away from the heavy Klingon traders, because these guys put out a lot more damage and have a lot higher hull. So if you look at, attack 1 million, defense 5 million, health 17 million. They're a lot of health, not so much on the attack. Looking at their, does it have their damage? Did I pass it? Shield piercing stats, damage per round says 1 million, but it's not really that high, especially with Chen. But then you look at the heavy Klingon trader, similar stats here. 160, 160, 160. Is it the piercing that's just that much higher? And their defenses maybe that make the fight just take longer? I don't know. They put out a lot more damage. A lot more damage. And the fight does not usually go. Nope. These stats all look identical, so maybe the game's just bugged. But the heavy traders, they're a little bit harder to kill. Talon is more useful for them than Chen because of the type of energy the weapons that they use. And if you are in need of killing one of these things for an event like the Parabellum event that comes around, I highly recommend using the Beverly, Mud, and Talon crew. That will should guarantee you at least 1 kill, depending on the ship you use and things like that. You might get to kill 2 per hull, but you're getting millions and millions of points of damage against them. So that will usually finish up your event in 1 or 2 kills. So if you're not familiar with said crew, we'll take a quick look at it. So Beverly Crusher as captain. When fighting hostiles, she restores shield health equal to 200% of the health of all officers on the ship. So when she's captain, she routinely restores shield health. This also increases your dodge and armor deflection. But it's her captain's ability that triggers here, because when your shields get to 0, she will still work at the start of the following round and restore some shield health. And as long as you have even, 1 point of shield health available, your shield deflection will then kick in, and your shields will absorb 80% of the damage from your next attack. And she'll just keep doing that. They only shoot once per round, so they hit you, take your shields down to 0. Next start of the next round, she regenerates a little bit of shield health. So now when they shoot you again, your shields absorb it, and it'll just keep doing that on, off, on, off, on, off. But the bigger benefit to that technique is, where is Harry? Where's Mud? Ah, Mr. Mud. Down but never out. When the ship's shield health is depleted, Mud increases the weapon damage of the ship by 350% for the rest of combat. This will keep triggering off of her ability. Shields go down, he triggers, increases your weapon damage by 350%. Start of the next round, Beverly puts your shields back up. You get hit, your shields go back down to 0. Mud triggers again, and it begins stacking and stacking and stacking to the point where you're doing insane amounts of damage by the time the fight ends. And then your third option for your third crew member is either Talon to lower the damage that they're doing, so you take less hull damage and possibly survive to do a second attack, or you can use Khan as your third officer. So then every time you're getting hit, it's improving the crit chances. So now Mud is stacking your base damage, and now Khan is improving your crit damage. So now your crit chance. So now you're more likely to crit in those later rounds for ridiculous amounts. What else we got here? So our final battle pass event is to clear the coast. So we got to kill some of those guys. Okay. Well, as luck would have it, you're sitting on my Stella. So we'll get this ship repaired and send that one on out. Okay, so you go do some hull damage. We'll go to Lindstrom for that. Obviously, you want to do whatever system is the highest for you that you can comfortably kill things at. Higher level ships have higher hulls, so you do more hull damage, so you finish your events faster. Hang on 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. Heard the new puppy getting into some mischief. So, we were going to go test out... I don't have Talon. Well, I can use Khan for this one. So we were just going to show off that. For those of you who haven't seen this, we need Beverly Crusher, Captain, with Mr. Khan. In the meantime, looks like we can start killing some of these 35s now to do our swarms. So I have to kill about 15 of these to finish up my daily for the day, but I will push it all the way to 53. The event takes 75 kills to finish. But since my daily requires 22 kills, I'll do 53 of them now, save 22. And when the server resets tonight or tomorrow morning, I'll do my daily again, kill the other 22, and finish up my daily and the event. A little more time efficient that way. We'll get quark mining again real quick. And we'll talk about Mr. Quark a little later on in the show. But of course, the big benefit that they did announce was that they are sort of revamping Latinum Rush Monday. Oh. Well, that was interesting. There goes Baku, who kind of went a little bit rogue here so he could go after this anti-alliance, the number one alliance on the server. So he kind of went rogue so he could go after them, and he was out here trying to do his daily, and this level 56 Pylum, 38 million strength, cloaked and snuck up on him and killed him. And just like that, his Stella is right back. And we'll see how long that lasts for before it gets killed again. I don't know if he's got another Stella around, or oh, did it cloak again, or did it move off? No, it moved over here. This is going to take a few trips as well, but it does let us get to stock up on our Eclipse credits. Just more resources to collect and refine on a daily basis. So I need about 300,000 every day to unlock, to do this daily chest pull, to get the credits, get the rep. Not really sure what the rep is for at this point. Now that I've kind of hit the final tier here, maybe there's something else with these battleship notoriety or whatnot that might change. But in the meantime, we'll do that to finish up our battle pass. Keep leapfrogging back and forth, killing some of these 35s. There's only two 35 systems, so it does get a little crowded here. There's a couple of 32 systems that are spaced out, one on Federation space, one on the Romulan side. But the 35s are kind of right next to each other, so a little bit of bouncing back and forth. So let's see what else we got. That node is go mine there. Okay, so we were talking about the heavies and this particular crew here. So we'll go kill one of these heavy transports. Now, ordinarily with like a Pike Moreau Chen or something, I'd be basically dead and I would do very little damage to it. But here I got almost half my life left still, which means we can give it a second try. See if I can get a second one. Of course, now I'm only going to find regular ones that are easy to kill. Which is like, damn, I've got the wrong crew for this. And then we'll look at a battle log for that. So I need 191 million points of damage. I'm getting about 10 million to 11 million per kill. Oh, I did get it. I got the second one. Excellent. We'll fly him back to base, and then we'll check out that battle log. Yeah, we're getting about 10 million. So I need 191, just short of being maxed there on cargo. So we'll go ahead and kill one more. That'll max out my cargo. Give me to 70, so I just have to do this 2 more times, and that should be done. going back, and I could just stay and keep killing, but I want the cargo. So we'll keep doing that. All right, so let's look at that battle log now. Heavy transport. So the heavy transport here, showing different stats now than when I was looking at it before. Shield health 17 million, hull health 17 million. It's a lot of hull health, a lot of damage to get through there. So we look at it here. She's getting some mitigation. He hit me, it's right off the bat. Big crit. Shields absorb some shield health. The rest goes to hull. So my mitigation is less above 50%. Which is good. The rest goes to shields. The shields absorb 80% of the remaining damage, and 20% goes through to hull damage. Elizabeth's about 500 left after the mitigation. And then we're doing 116,000 per shot. She puts some shield health back up. It'll take a couple rounds to cons boosting my crit chance. All right, there we go. Augur Shield's depleted here in round 9. Shields absorbed 300,000 damage. Now Mud triggers, pumps me back up 350% to damage. So we were doing 120,000, give or take. Now we're doing 150, 160, 170. And our crits are 350 as opposed to before when they were about 280. So we're doing significant more damage. Start of the round here, Beverly Absorb adds more shield health. Now when I get hit for that one time per round, which these guys only do shoot once per round, which is what makes this strategy so effective, is the fact that they only shoot once per round. Shields absorb a big chunk of damage, a little bit goes through to hull. Now Mud triggers again. Now these crits are, now I'm doing 190 base damage, where it was 170 before. Now we're up to 190. And now my crits are over 400,000. That's the Obliterator critting for 3.5 million, which is nice. And now, again, same thing. She puts the shields up, I get hit, shields go down, Mud boost and damage. Khan also increasing my crit chance, which we're 10 rounds in now. I've been hit every round, so he's added 40% so far. To my total. So now I'm most of my shots are going to crit here. I'm 40-45% over my base. So we're critting for 500,000, base hit for 240. Same thing, crits for up to over 600,000 now, and every shot is a critical. Base hit for over 300,000 now, so my base damage has basically doubled since the beginning of this fight because of Mud's ability. And my con crits are up to almost 700,000 now, and most of my shots, I'm critting at a pretty substantial rate here. Up to over 800,000. And by the last round, we'll jump down to the end. Ugh. I hate when it does that. Round 23 here. Obliterator critting for almost 11 million. Again, and then these are all crits. 1.5 million damage. Every shot was a critical. This thing has no shields left. It's just hull damage, just absorbing 600,000. Its mitigation is about the same as mine was, about 55-60%. So, and then we finally finish it off here in round 24. So that is how that particular strategy works, in case you're not familiar with it. Very good for the Parabellum event, because those things have, 17 million hull health or whatnot. So if you're doing damage to it, for that Parabellum event, you have to do, based on your level, in order to get Latinum and other rewards, you have to do a certain amount of damage to each, just in general, hull damage to capital traders. So you can kill the regular ones, you'll have to kill multiples of them, which can be harder to get because a lot of people will be there competing for those spawns. Or you can set up a crew like that and go kill usually one. Sometimes if your level gets higher, you may need to kill two. To finish up your event for the day. Where are we at here? Working on our battle pass, getting some battle pass points there. I need 14,000 battle pass to finish my heroic overflow. And they're giving out 10 and a half. They're giving out 15. Perfect. So basically, you had to do everything. So let's switch this up. Since I did just need a couple of regular guys. We'll do that. Put Picard Beverly on there. And then I need Chen for my third spot. And we'll fly back. Kronos. And pick up those last couple of regular guys, which hopefully are still there. So I can finish up my dailies. Do a quick faction check here. So Romulan rep, Federation rep, 335 now, about 100,000 from Glorified. That will give me access to the Newton should I want to build it at level 46. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Eventually someday, possibly. And then ROM rep here, we are at 727. So 273 million to go from hitting that 1 billion champion lock. So then I can lock this one out, and then I can go back and start killing Romulans to boost both my Klingon and Federation rep. And start going the other way. That'll also give me access to the Tribune when I hit level 50, which from what I understand is not really worth building since the ships above it in the low 50s, 53 I think is when you can get like the Northcut and the other faction ships there, are just better. They do more damage, they're cheaper to repair, they require a lot less resources to upgrade. Maybe not quite cheaper to repair, but they certainly require a lot less resources to upgrade, and they start with much higher stats. So the 50s are going to kind of be overlooked now that they've pushed the level cap up from level 50 up to level 60. On my server, at least. Depending on what server you're on, your server might be stuck at 50 for a while, in which case then that ship would be a decent investment if you get there someday. Before they have enough players who are at that 49, 50 level range, that they then open it up and let people move above it. And the whole economy changes when you get to grade 5 stuff. Let's get a couple kills with our Stella. For those of you watching live on Twitch, I'll throw this question out there for you. How have you guys been with your pulls in terms of your Dabo wheels and the random luck in terms of unlocking officers? I know some people have gotten quite a few Quark shards that way, which helped them unlock him. I got a handful of them. That was really the only way to get Arak without buying him, because the Battle Pass and the events had very few Arak shards. So you kind of had to get lucky in the Dabo wheels to get shards for him, which was not my case. I got a lot of Fez. Fez, they gave out quite a few shards in the top and bottom parts of the Battle Pass, more than enough to unlock him. And my Dabo pulls, go down here to the bottom to our Ferengi Officers. So I have almost enough to tier Fess up to the next level, and I'm still 14 away from unlocking Arak. And I got Quark, and I have a few extra shards to spare, plus this auction here. Now I think I placed in the top 10 in the first auction 2 weeks ago. And I just bought the regular the $20 battle pass. I didn't pay the extra money for the extra additional Quark shards. So yeah, I finished in this 6 to 10 bundle to get the 29 shards. I'm pretty sure is where I finished last time. So I got a few shard pulls for my Dabo wheels. Did all of the gas ones, the dilithium and gas, because dilithium is so heavily needed for not just ship upgrades, but a lot of research in the higher 40 plus range. You're talking 50 to 100 million per research. Plus gas is needed for a lot of your key buildings as well as your ships and your researches. If crystal was a problem for you in your 30s, gas is a problem for you in your 40s. And then I also invested a few, getting a few crystal, getting some ore that I needed for some buildings. I did mostly the rest of it into away teams to try and get additional trait XP credits. Interestingly, I'm sure, again, it's just random, but I probably did 20 or 30 trait XP pulls. I don't recall getting any officer shards in any of my trait XP pulls. My gas ones, I got, a good amount of shards. These ones, I got, a decent amount of officer shards. But doing the Dabo wheel here, I don't recall really getting any. So maybe just random. I'm sure it's just random. It wasn't done like that on purpose, right? Let's see what we got. Heavies. There's a regular one. Other regular ones go? There they are. I think I needed 5 when I started, so I did 2 of the heavy ones, testing out that crew. And you can see, obviously, Picard, Beverly, Chen, Pike, Moreau, Chen, really just mitigation and Chen getting boosted there. They do so much less damage compared to the other ships. We'll take a look at that and compare those in just a second. And there we go. That completed the rest of those dailies. So let's fly him back. Oh, there's my hostile ships. There's my faction dailies. And my swarm daily is technically also done now too. I guess from that last swarm kill. Alright. So not much left here to do. I don't really do the cloaking ones because they just give you more of these things. And I've done a good amount of the researches for those. And then since I'm working on other reputations, I don't do my Klingon ones. But, alright. Oh, you're OPC, so let's fly you back. That guy, we'll let that guy have that one. I was probably slightly closer, but it's okay. We'll let him have that one. Oh, I think this guy might get to that one, but no, I'm going to get there. Woo! At the buzzer. And cargo is full, about 137 or so. All right, so we looked earlier at our damage, these heavy Klingon transports. Their base damage, that's a crit, 864, 865 is what their base damage was. As compared to a regular Klingon transport, 52,000. I mean, I know that's Chen. That's Picard's captain's ability and Chen basically reducing their damage by like 90% or something. So they're only hitting for 52,000 because of that. So obviously the fight's going to be a lot simpler. But again, it takes 92 rounds to get through their hull health and whatnot, as opposed to the other crew that was doing a lot faster. What else we got going on here? So we got to finish this up. Display of dominance. There is no, oh, there is a new daily. Gain power. This is one they also were running yesterday. So they're running it again for a second day, but this is only from buildings and research, which is very expensive to do. All right. So I promised we would talk a little bit about Quark since I did unlock him. So let's take a look at this crew now. So Fess is the first one that I unlocked. His captain's ability boosts base mining speed, but his officer's ability is the one that everyone's been talking about because it reduces protected cargo by 30%. And it's like, why would you want an officer that lowers your protected cargo? Well, I understand that, but if you look at sort of, it's an interesting mechanic, and obviously as you tier him up, that number goes down significantly, like 5% each tier. But you can see Quark's captain's ability increases your protected cargo by 90%, is his base ability. And then Fess gives him synergy, so while Fess is actually reducing it by 30%, he's giving 15% of it back to Quark. So he's only lowering your protected cargo by 15%, which isn't so bad. Then you also get Quark's officer ability, which increases mining speed by 80%, which is a pretty significant jump in his officer ability. And then I just have Talon on there as well to add some additional protected cargo to help offset what Fess is doing. So my tier 7 Meridian, I think I just got it up to tier 7, yeah. So just got it upgraded to tier 7. Cargo capacity 837, protected cargo 107,000. So that's a pretty decent amount that you can sort of just park it on a node for a little bit. $107,000. Mining some 1-star. 217,000 an hour. So I got about 25-30 minutes before that ship will be over its protected cargo limit, which is a lot better than what the Meridian was a few months ago when it was basically, like a Devore where you were flying it back and forth every 5 seconds because your protected cargo was full. All right, back to killing swarms, trying to finish this up. Titanium and uncommon ore. So we're getting ore from one and gas from the other. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Let's start some research. So where are we at on our research? I'm probably doing away team research. I probably have enough. Yep, let's do that one. Increase the amount of Romulan reputation gained by another 7%. That requires Fed Graviton Shields. Fed Graviton Shields requires Explorer Overcharge. Explorer Overcharge requires Explorer Advanced Piercing. And wait, let me guess. Explorer Advanced Piercing requires Advantage Explorer. You can also hit go and it'll show you all of them. And Advantage Explorer requires 6,000 more away team badges than I have. Let's go look at an away team. 6,000, huh? What can I speed up? This one's 7 hours away. That would give me more than enough. I'm just going to use all the 1 hour speed ups. I know I overshot the mark a little bit there, but 1 hour speed ups are a lot easier to come by because you get those every day as opposed to other speed ups that are a little harder to source. This is just defense. You've got defense. You've got defense. And you've got defense. This one's a 12-hour one. And it's an attack one. Probably not doing any armadas this afternoon, so we'll send Riker on that one. Start getting some more away team. This one's health. And we'll use Kurla. Don't use Katie very often. I don't use Aoki very often. 7,000, good. Okay, so now we have enough to do our research. In our away team's faction, Advanced Explorer, 47 days. Now with Alliance helps available, I get up to 18. That should hopefully come down pretty significantly. Probably be closer to about 40 days after helps have all been applied. One of the better advantages of being in an active alliance is getting the helps applied faster, so that way if you do have to speed through research for an event, you can do that quicker. And the other benefit, of course, is the limit to the number of helps that you can get. Smaller alliances, you may not have enough members, or you just haven't upgraded your alliance as much. Your alliance levels here increased in just the capacity of members, but also the number of help slots. You know, if you're in a newer alliance, one of these lower level one or something like that, you might be limited to limited to 15 helps, 14 helps. Maybe if you're starting out on a new server, or you're in a beginner alliance with a bunch of other new players, you might be limited to only 9 or 10 helps. And with the help taking off 1% or 1 minute from your repair time, your build time, your research time, whichever is greater, anything you're doing that's over 2 hours is pretty much going to default to the 1%. And when you get some of this stuff that costs 40, 50, hundreds of days as you progress through the game, having more helps reduces the time significantly. So we were already down to 44. So we cut 3 days off of it, and we're about a third of the way through our helps. So that should hopefully, like I said, get us under 40 days. So we'll take 7 or 8 days worth of time based on alliance helps. And in the meantime, we'll also continue leveling up our Stella. We're up to 43. Trying to get this one up to 45 so I can do the Stella scrap game. Scrap it to get some more research done. That one's pretty far. That guy's going to take that one. Alright, we'll go for it. But this guy does have a head start on position, so if he goes right for it, he would get there first. He's not. He went the other way. Okay. I said I needed about 191 million to finish up the event. Obviously, your milestones will be different based on your ops level. Ops level triggers a lot of things in this game. There's 181. Oh, we'll go that way. And this should do it. This should be 191. And then we're done. Then we finished our events. We finished our overflow battle pass. Cargo's not quite full yet, so I'll get one more kill in at least. There's my final battle pass points. Then there's my heroic completed. Get some latinum and this Davo wheel avatar that I will not be using, but at least I can say I've got it. So all told, this month Battle Pass is over. Today is the final day. Hopefully you'll finish whatever milestones you're on in the free path, and if you did spend the money, the 20 bucks or $100 to unlock the Elite Pass, you'll finish this up as well to get these extra quark shards, resources, that kind of stuff that's in the bottom half. And then we can get back to our regularly scheduled events for the month, our in-between arc events. Looking at the calendar here, if this ends today, so Monday would start the new, we'll have 8 days basically between now and when the next arc should start. I can't imagine that they would roll right into it 2 days from now. So we will most likely kind of get a repeat of what we got last month. We'll get Crucible of War, Faction Hunt, and maybe some type of Apex event. Keep us busy for a week. Maybe they'll give us a Jellyfish Brawl or a Parabellum event somewhere in there as well, midweek, just to kind of give us something extra to do. And then Tuesday, what's that, March 8th? Does that sound right? Should be when our next Battle Pass event arc will start. We'll get the Attack of the Ferengi Part 2, or the Mining of the Ferengi Part 2. I'm sure it'll focus more on the Dvorfisha. Maybe some of the milestones for some of the events will actually give us components to help speed along the upgrade process on that ship, which right now is pretty slow. If you just doing the daily refinery for your Dvorfisha, concentrated latinum, can't see it because I did it today, but just doing your double pull, you'll average about 100 parts per day, which means it'll take you about 35 days of doing double pulls to get enough parts to tier it from tier 1 to tier 2. And then from tier 2 to tier 3 will take you between 45 and 50 days, depending on how lucky you are with your pulls there. So by the end of the Ferengi Arc, that's essentially 90 days, that's 3 months. So if they do a 3-month arc, you'll be right on the verge of having your Fuchsia to tier 3 if you didn't buy anything, just based solely on just the refinery, which is the only way that they've used for repair upgrade parts so far. All right, there's kill number 53. Get my con shards. He's about over halfway now. Nice. So that's done. Clear the coast is done. Quark's test here. We're sitting 14th. 11 through 25 get the same reward, 15 shards. What would I need to do to move up to 10? 3 million, I'm at 2.5, so I need 700,000 points currently. Realistically, I'd probably have to get up to about 4 million to get above some of these guys, because they're also going to move up throughout the event. Big spender, medium spender, medium spender, and these guys, big spender obviously, and these guys are already pretty far ahead. And they're looking at who's kind of right behind me. There's a medium spender in both some of these guys here, so they may have some cash coming up that they may be purchasing some packs for to get some resources. So I'm not going to push as hard because I've already unlocked Quark, and now that they did make the announcement of the adjustments to Platinum Rush Mondays, that every week your solo milestone will have 2 Quark shards in it, like Threat from Beyond every week has con shards in it. Con. Quark becomes a little easier to source on a continuous basis, so don't necessarily need to invest a lot of time and resources now to getting Quark shards like you have to with a lot of other officers, because they're sort of a limited time kind of thing. You know, someone like Gowron or Martok or Sela, who were in the last arc, who don't really have any other path currently to get shards for them, other than when they do things like, it's in the recruits. In our recruit section, currently doing this 2-time chance to get, so you've got Worf and Sela in here currently, as well as Bael, Bator, Gowron, Martok in there as well. Chance to pull some extra shards for some of these people. These ones are fairly close. I would certainly love to make a run at getting some more. Worf at least is in the Amalgam store, so there's a way to source him. Sela, not really a way. Is Tomalak? Yeah, there's Tomalak as well. You know, these 5 officers right here, not really any other way to source. And then there's none of the uncommon officers. So Lursa is not in this pack. So her sourcing is still sort of restricted. They didn't put her in the premium pack either, I don't think. Nope. So weird little things like that they do. But in your Amalgam store, you do have a chance to get some Worf shards. You can do this like 1 to 2 times a week. So again, not great, but at least there's a path, and I'll take it. I'll take a path, even if it's not a great one, over, if you didn't buy them, you're screwed. Which, I mean, that's not why we play the game, right? We don't play the game just to bust out our credit card every month and keep just feeding quarters into the machine, or handing over $100 here, $100 there in huge chunks. It's just not what we want to do with a game like this, especially a game that has so many bugs and so many glitches to it. If we felt like they were spending our money and fixing things, that would be great. Anybody try and do a territory that's a highly contested one in the last 2, 3 months, the lag is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That's actually a competitive strategy. When, oh, they won't be able to kill us if we put too many ships in the system. So if you're defending your system, you just park so many little Rialtas and whatnot and all your tiny little ships all in one system. And you overload it to the fact where either nobody can get into it because it'll give you the game error saying, system is full, or you'll fly into it and you'll pick a ship and you'll target it and it'll kind of just sit there and freeze. And by the time you do get there and actually get the fight, your ship's all the way on the other side of the system now because that thing has moved between when you saw it, and then you're stuck in combat for what should be 5 seconds is actually more like 20 to 25 seconds. So put our jellyfish crew back on. Oh, I don't want to do it that way. So we want Khan. You're going to go there because I want to swap them. And we need 5. There's our, if we do run any armadas later, that'll be the crew that I'd want for that. We'll repair these guys. And see what's in our pulls here. And 5-hour speed up. Okay, 1-hour speed up. This is probably from killing the 49 capitals traders that I got. These. The rest of this junk looks like swarm stuff. The other thing that I did have to do today, it should be my timer, I think we should have been up this morning, is my epic chest. Yep. So I could do a 2-box pull on that, which does have some decent stuff in it. I don't need these ship blueprints because I've already built all 3 of them, and I can actually probably build multiples of them. And I already have my jellyfish, and there's no reason to build a second one of those. At least these you can scrap when you get to like level 50. And you need parts for your G4 ships. But really it's more for the G4 resources, the faction credits, the G3 resources that I do still need to finish upgrading some of my ships there. So we'll do a 2-box pull on that for 5,000. Got some ore, got some gas, got some rare gas, which will come in handy, and some faction credits, which is pretty good as well. 6 rare crystals, not bad either. 8 jellyfish blueprints. Be getting closer to building a second jellyfish. My epic G4 box, which I really only pull to get the rare Armada cores, costs 50,000, but I have another day to possibly get into an epic Armada somewhere to get that. Or I can start an epic Armada now that I've got some additional directives. But just one more thing to look forward to at the higher levels. How are we doing here? Yeah, we're halfway through 40. Yep. So your Armada Center, in addition to requiring huge numbers of the common cores, also requires these rare cores, and the only way to get the rare tactical cores are in the G4 boxes. Or occasionally they'll put a pack up here in the store that you can buy. No, these are just the directives. There is an Armada upgrade pack that they do sell you from time to time that has like 1,500 or 2,000 cores there, so you can try and get yours up to the next level. And when you get to level 49, they'll put a pack in the store for you. When you get your ACC up to 49, and if you're at least the same ops level, they'll put a pack in the store for you as well to get the cores that you need to get to level 50. Because when you get to level 50 with your ACC, you get a seventh slot in your Armada. Currently, that is the cap for the Armada Control Center here. Damage bonus 100%, Armada size 7. This building does not go above that as of yet. And you can buy the pack needed to go from 49 to 50 for not $100, but $600. No, thank you. This is awesome. Armada size 7, huge difference, especially when doing deep space armadas that are pretty significant, or if you're going after some of these big epic exchanges, the level 40 plus to 45s, having a 7th slot is pretty huge. But is it worth $600? I don't think so. It's just my opinion. Maybe for some of you guys it is. Maybe for some of you guys doing real big stuff, killing these level 50s out here or whatever else is out in, you know, going out here in this space and killing these big level 50 things that are out here, or going out into this bonus beta sector space and killing all this stuff. Maybe, yeah, maybe you need 7 people. Hopefully you're in an alliance that has 7 people that can reach here, though. That's kind of the thing, right? It's like you're going to spend the money and like, yeah, I can have 7 people, but only 5 people can get there. So, you know, is it worth the investment? It's a question you'll have to answer for yourself. All right. Well, then I guess since there's not much else to do right now, we finished all of our events. We finished our battle pass. This requires spending resources. This requires completing researches and stuff. Maybe I'll finish off, a couple of these researches later. Look at that. 18 helps down to 39 days. So we cut about 8 days off of these. We'll do the notoriety one, because if I'm going to go kill stuff for factions, I might as well get more reputation for doing it, speed along that process. I'll use a couple of these guys that I got from stuff, and we'll finish it up with some 3-hour pulls. 1, 2, 3. And we'll just use a couple of these. Yeah, it wasn't really worth a whole lot. Where am I on territory stuff? What do I got? I've got only 37,000. Not really going to quite do it. Can do more damage against hostiles, but that 5% bonus not really doing a lot for me. This I kind of need to save up, because these stuff I can't do until 44, but there's a couple out here in terms of optimizing stuff that require 200,000. It's going to take a few days of not doing anything to save up enough to do one of these. Anything in the outlaw tree. I would love to have this stuff, but I don't want to spend the ore right now because I need it for the ship upgrade. These efficiencies are pretty good. These can't go any higher just yet there. Gas I can, but I don't have the gas. But you see 57 million dilithium needed there. 40 million dilithium needed for that one, plus like 2,000 gas. And obviously, to make this more efficient, I should do this one first to make this one then cheaper. Or probably multiples of this one, which does require 1,000 gas. Where would I get 1,000 gas from? Well, my multiphasic store. Interceptor pack, that's got 92. It would be the Explorer pack that should have more gas in it, right? 164, so that'd give me not enough. Just under 500, and I need 1,000. So not enough. get gas from Taco Bell. Yeah, that's always a safe bet. But hey, according to Taco Bell, they make dreams come true. It says it on the bottom of the receipts. Usually it says like now hiring. Dreams really do come true. Apply within. All right, what else we got here? Yeah, that requires a lot of the stuff that I need. Oh, I wonder. Since I did my pure gas research, I wonder if I can get one of my ship components for my auger. That one just requires crystal. Yeah, see that all these just require resources, resources. Can't quite do that one yet because that one requires stockpile. Stockpiles here, 28 million. All right, we'll do that one. Getting low on tokens though. I know, 800 million still seems low. But that should help finish up our event ones as well. Definitely did the Fed rep for the day. Did it get all the Romulan one too? Yes, it did. Okay. So basically the Fed rep got neutraled out, so I gained about 1.5 million Romulan rep for doing the two of them. I lost nothing for Fed, but I get the rewards to get the credits. Keeps it from falling too far. And it was the auger that I wanted to check, because that's what we're going to faction grind with anyway. Make sure to switch Chen back on board. No, we are just short still. I need 510. It was 522, but I finished pure ore this morning and it reduced it like 2% or whatever, so I went from 522 down to 510. Okay. So yeah, we need 510 for that one and 510 for this one, and this one requires uncommon. Still need about 1400 of that. And then I can move the auger to tier 8. All right. Well, as always, I appreciate everybody watching live on Twitch, participating in the Twitch chat. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching there. Be sure and click the like and subscribe buttons there, and hop on over to my Twitch channel to see when I'll be streaming live. We stream Sunday afternoons, and then usually Tuesday, Thursday evenings. May switch that up. Work's going to get a little busier here in a little bit. I may cut it to just one of the 2 days, but it also will depend on content as well. If there's not a lot going on in Star Trek Fleet Command, not a lot to stream and to talk about. So we'll see how things go, and we'll kind of just play it by ear a little bit. Try and keep a regular schedule. But I appreciate you watching, and I will see you guys around the galaxy.